All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone out there in Line Dance Land. It's your girl, Queen Sheila, all the way from Tampa, Florida, with the Line Dance Connection. Today, we're going to have an awesome, awesome guest, and I just can't wait. I tell you, I'm excited. I'm excited um, that we're going to have one of those. Oh, I remember when. I remember that. I remember. It's going to be one of those. So, what I want you to do is get out your pad and your pencil so that you can write some notes because near the end of the show, we're going to have a trivia section of the show. So we're going to ask some of the questions that our guest today told us during the interview. And if you can answer it, you can win $5. Now, we usually do three or four of them, but no one can win more than one because if Pop's wife was to, I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you who, but if our guest wife was to tune in, she would know all the answers. I gave it away. I'm sorry. But we want to thank you for tuning in today and hope that you got your pen and paper ready. Another thing, fasten your seatbelt because we about to take off. You know, we're going to leave this place and we're going to go to Line Dance Land and we're going to be up there in the air. So if you're not ready, none other than our guest for today, we're going to introduce him right now, Mr. Clifton Spriggs Jr., aka Pops. Hey, Pops, how you
Hey,
doing?
good evening, Queen, and everybody out in the line dance world. Hello, how you doing?
Good, good, good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Yes. Yep, I'm excited about this interview today. I tell you, I just have heard so much about you, and now I'm really thankful to meet you. And I know we're gonna have us a good time today. I'm
Thank
excited.
you, thank you again
Yes,
for the invite. Thank you.
yes, thank you. So, see, we have the first thing that I want to ask you is I was trying to see who we have tuning in. We have a couple of people that tuned in, so I'm going to wait a few more minutes till we get some more in, and I'll call them all off. But let's start with you telling us who Clifton Pop Springs is. A Springs.
Okay, real easy,
Hmm.
cut and dry. I'm just an old guy from Washington D.C. That's where I was born and raised.
Okay.
Um, I'm retired military and numerous other previous jobs of employment after leaving the military.
Okay.
Uh, I moved here to Virginia, where I am in Hampton, Virginia, in approximately 1993 through a military reassignment, and I've been here since, like I said, 1993. Um, my background again was military, law enforcement, uh, contract work for the government, things of that nature, and
Okay.
now a line dance instructor, choreographer, uh, instructor. So
Okay.
I've been in line dance now for roughly it's been 11 years now. I started line dancing approximately 2011.
Okay. All right. 2011. That's when you started line dancing or you started teaching?
No, I didn't start line dancing until 2011.
Okay.
There's a little story to that.
Okay.
Um, uh, my niece, who I love dearly,
Uh-huh.
she felt I wasn't doing enough healthy stuff
Okay.
because, as I stated, I'm a contractor or was a contractor for quite a few years. So
Okay.
I did everything from home. I've been working at home where people are just getting that opportunity. That's how I worked. I worked from home, and she was like, "You're not getting up enough. You're not doing enough." So she says, "Come on, I want you to go line dancing with me."
Okay.
Um, and she and my wife decided, "Yeah, come on, I'm gonna go." And we went to a class, and from that class, that was the birth of me getting involved with line dancing, and I
Okay.
stuck with it pretty much ever since.
Okay. So, do you have a different teaching style, or is tell us about your teaching style.
My teaching style, wow. Um, my teaching style has changed somewhat over the years.
Hmm.
Again, we all get into line dance for fun.
Yes.
My passion for it again has grown so much more broader because my style now is more of trying to teach more of the classic um, dances to my students, because my students is, some people say beginners. I just say they're still in the intro phase of line dancing. I don't like
Okay.
this. So my style is more classic dances,
Okay.
providing, of course, the steps, techniques, and whatever it is that I can get to help the student retain what's being taught. Because when you're teaching a class once a week, twice a week,
Hmm.
if there aren't venues to attend,
Uh-huh.
what you learn in class is just what you learn in class. And for a lot of people in class, it's a place to just socialize.
Yes, it
Everybody
is.
doesn't come. Everybody doesn't come to get the community exposure. And I
Okay.
say exposure because that's key to it. I
Hmm.
teach get getting exposure as opposed to just getting what I provide. So that's my true style of teaching. My style of teaching is teaching for exposure. I will teach you everything that I can teach you,
Okay.
that I have knowledge of, but I express getting that exposure from outside of that classroom, because there's a whole lot more to line dance than just pop sprigs and my style of teaching.
Okay. And
Hey,
and I agree
cuz.
with you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Let's see who we have online. We have, I don't know why I can't see this today. We have Natalie Wilkins. Hi, Natalie. Carla Gray from London. Hi, Carla.
Hey.
And well, Facebook user. I don't know who that's. Hi, Facebook user. Melba Dennis. Hi, Melba. Melba's on her and Carla on every week. Alexa, right? Alexa Swirl, I think it is. Yes.
Alexa Swirl. That's cuz. Come on, cuz.
Cuz. Hey, cuz. Earl Miller just tuned in. Hey, Earl. He said, "What's up, Pop?"
What up, bro?
And Chris Blues is on this evening.
What's
Hey,
up,
Chris.
Blues?
And did I get everybody? I think so. I think I got Natalie Wilkins. I think I have everybody that's on so far. So we're gonna continue. So, Pop, tell us about one instance in your class where you were teaching somebody, like somebody new, and maybe they've been with you for 6 months, a year, or however long, and then you're teaching something one day, and they say, "Pop, this is a da 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 da, or a one wall dance, or this is a, this is a 32 counter, something like that." Have you ever experienced that?
No, not really. No.
Okay,
No, I've never had that. Again, because of the group of people that I teach in my morning class.
okay,
I have to say in the morning class specifically, because I do, like I said, intro
mm-hmm,
in the morning, and in the evening, I share instructorship with two other instructors. And I'm kind of like the guy that's there to make sure everybody gets in. And
okay,
then I kind of go to the back, what I call the back row. I'm a back row instructor.
okay,
I get out of their way and I let them do their thing, and I'll go to the back and I'll help those that might need help.
okay.
So rarely have I ever had anyone to uh, to correct anything that I'm teaching. But I have one student. I have to digress. I have one student. I actually nicknamed her the professor. So
Okay.
when it's something, you know how you go through that. Excuse me, out there in the radio land, when you have that brain fart and you
Uh-huh.
forget a step and you're
Yeah.
doing it and it feels good, but it's like something's missing. And
Uh,
I'll look over my left shoulder and I'll say, Professor, and she'll go out in the hall, do her research, and she'll come back in. And she said, "Oh, no, you forgot to do the James Brown. You forgot to do this. You forgot to do that." So
Okay.
she helps me when she's there. So I do have someone that will make sure that if I miss the step, which we
Mhm.
all have those occasions,
Oh, yeah.
I have a couple of students in my class that will help me out. So, Professor, if you're out there, I'm giving you your shout out right now. And I know I see Earlden already attest to it. So it does happen. So it's nothing to get all twisted up about it,
Oh.
because it's going to happen, and you just got to keep on doing it. You
And
know.
Pop, maybe I didn't express that correctly. What I'm saying is, like, I have a student that maybe been with me a year, and
Mm-hmm.
when this young lady came, I won't call no names. When she came, I mean, she really had two left feet, because every time I say right, she would go left. And then we
Okay.
were in class not long ago, and she said to me, Queen, this is a one wall dance, right? And I looked at her and I'm like, oh my God, she knows this is a one wall dance. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
to show that they've really been listening and what you're teaching, you work hard to teach the right thing. And what
Okay.
you're teaching, somebody who you never thought would pick up on it, actually picked up and say, oh no, even though we hit four walls, this is a one wall dance. And I was like, wow.
Right. Right.
And it makes
Well,
you feel good, you
yeah,
know.
again, that's that special moment because you do have some students, and like I tell her, I jokingly say this all the time. I have instructors in training without their certification papers.
Okay,
And
good.
I point them out, tell them that's instructor in training. So y'all listen up, So I give them I give them their props,
Okay,
because like you say, that shows how much they're paying attention. And then throughout the class, and you'll see them helping someone
okay.
to get through a dance. What
Yes.
I do every class is when a new student walks into the room, that's when I call out the new eyes. I just say new eyes, and then I'll go greet that person, get their name, and have them introduce them to the class. That
Okay.
way, the class now has welcomed them into the fold, so to speak.
Mhm.
So now they feel like they're not by themselves.
Right,
Now
that person out here like that,
they
yeah.
got a whole classroom full of people that have called their name.
Mhm.
So now, and I tell them, come get in the middle. That
Okay.
way, when you don't see me, you see one of the other pre-certified instructors.
Okay. And
So that's how I greet the new folks. So that's part of my style that I use.
yeah, because when you have new people, they always want to go to the back.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, don't go to the back, get in the middle. So with every way we turn, there's someone in front of you who you can watch if you get lost a little bit.
Exactly. Exactly. And I
And
tell them, I said, you must recognize the back wall becomes the front wall.
yes, it
So you
does.
become the leader on the back wall. And if you don't know the dance, you may mislead a whole group of people thinking
That's
you know what you're doing.
good.
So
Yeah.
get in the middle. Get in the
Yeah,
middle.
that's
You know.
really good.
Yeah, get in the
I
middle.
I see that you became a DJ. How did that come about?
Well, the story really goes like this. I used to DJ years ago when I was stationed overseas. I was lived in Germany for 5 years,
Mhm.
and I started DJing for the All Ranks Club that I was assigned, the base I was assigned to, or the detachment. So I had DJed from roughly 80, I want to say probably 85 to 90. But when I started line dancing, I became sort of the DJ for the instructor that I had. What I would do is I would play the music for her so she wouldn't have to fumble with, at the time she was using CDs,
Oh,
and
wow.
none of them seemed to work in the CD player. So what I did, and I say DJ, what
Okay.
I did is I took all of her CDs and I built them up and put them onto flash drives, and put them on my computers and iPods. And I became kind of her DJ. So while she was instructing, I would set up the music and have whatever I need to do to play the music for class. So she didn't have to go back and do this and that. And
Okay.
then my wife blessed us with, she bought me a sound dock. So
Okay.
now I didn't even have to go back to that. I could just use my remote control to play my music through the
Oh, that's
sound
good.
box. So
I,
that helped her out a lot. So she didn't have to run back and forth, and cheat. So that's how I became kind of her DJ for her class. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And that helps you with the music as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So when I'm teaching, I don't have to go running back. I set it up, then I'll go up to the front, and when I'm ready to start the music, I can start the music at my own, at my own pace. So.
Okay. Look at how far we've come. Like you said, you started with CDs or DVDs or whatever, putting it in, and now you just. I know, like me, I play from my phone
Right,
to the
right.
speaker that's in the room. So I said, oh, this is some good tech. Now I am not a technology person.
Hmm.
Okay. But Earl, I love him. I love me some Earl. Earl keep me on top of things. I called Earl one day. I said, Earl, I need help. I don't know how to pull. Somebody told me to send them a song to a dance I was doing. I was like, Earl, I don't know how to do that. I said, you teach me how to do it. Earl said, Look, I guess I was just hopeless. Earl said, "Look, I'll just send you the song."
There you go.
I
There
just
you
laughed
go.
because I don't know how to do that. I'm learning, you know, every day. I'm learning how to do this new technology and how to work it because I'm from the old school. You know, I don't know how to do it. So it was just funny. And Earl keeps me on my toes. I'm like, thank you, Earl. Thank you. He keeps me, you know, abreast of what's going on and what's new. So I was like, thank you.
There you go. Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
did
Earl's good people.
He is very good people. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you real quick. I saw Earl dancing at an event that was here in Tampa, and I was like, "Who is that right there? Who is that?" That was a while ago. I didn't know who Earl was, and they said, "That's Earl. That's Earl." And I was like, "Huh? That's who?" They said, "That's Earl." I said, "That's Earl," like that. So that's how I learned who Earl was, and then since then, you know, he's been my go-to. He's just been a blessing.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
that you did some country line dancing as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah. The second group that because I've been with technically three groups. The group that I'm with now, I started with them. I left and I went to another group.
Okay.
And in that group, we did a lot of country line dancing.
Okay.
And that's part of my teaching now is that you a lot of people that are in line dance don't even recognize that a lot of dances we do were originally country line dances.
Okay. Yeah.
There's several. They're quite. I'm not going to say several. There are hundreds of them out there that were originally country line dance,
Okay.
um, and a part of a part of my instruction is always that I'll tell them this dance that you're doing right now. This was originally so and so, and someone renamed it because of the music that was transferred over to that particular dance. So you got a different name now.
Okay.
One in point um, that was originally a country line dance. I can't get enough. That's the
Yes.
name somebody put on it because of the song. The song is I can't get enough, but the
Right.
dance is come dance with me, and a lot of people don't know that.
Uh-huh.
You know, Rose Garden is another country line dance. So
Okay.
you have to give props to the people that bring us these dances, but we tend to modify. And I even have a couple of ladies in my class. I call them the modification department
Okay.
because they're on the back row. They're on
Okay.
the back row. And they ain't gonna do. I ain't gonna talk about them bad, but they ain't gonna do too much to mess up their hairdo. Let me put it like that. I'm not gonna give a shout out with y'all's names if y'all on here, but they ain't gonna do a whole lot to mess up their hairdo. So,
Yeah, do huh?
I call them the modification department. They will learn. I mean, they learn the dance. They
Okay.
learn the count. So
Mm-hmm.
I give them true props, but
Okay.
they will shorten up the steps. I mean, they give you the steps to count because I teach them. Learn the count. Once you learn the count, you know when to turn, what position to be in, so you're right on point with everybody else. And I
Okay.
call it walking or whatever, but they
Uh-huh.
have learned that from me. That's part of
Okay.
my technique. I teach them you can do a cha-cha, but you put up one foot and count it 3 times, and the second one, the next one on the fourth count. And that's how you can do the walk
Uh-huh.
step 2, 3, and 4, and so on and so forth. And they picked up on that. So they're on that back road, the modification department, and that's what they do. So, but knowing the different dances is key. Knowing the history is more important to me than anything because there's a lot of stuff that's out here with people doing things. Yeah, but yeah, that's it.
No, that's great. How do you feel about traveling to
Love it.
different line dance events?
Love
I
it.
always say you don't learn until you travel.
You don't learn until you get the exposure. And I got a testimony here because brother Chris Blues is on here. Um,
Uh-huh.
I met Chris, and I have to tell this story. I love Chris because when I met him, Chris was not line dancing. I met him at a surprise birthday party for my little brother in Philly. I
Okay.
live in Hampton, but I went to Philly. I was working in DC, and I went to Philly for this birthday party, and I met Chris.
Okay.
Not formal introduction. I'm a photographer. I'm a photojournalist, as I was called, but
Okay.
I like taking photos, and I
Okay.
went around, was taking pictures and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fast forward to 2011 when I got into line dance.
Mm-hmm.
Chris and Hassan were a team that I watched on a regular basis
Okay.
on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife's cousin's wife said, "Come on, we're gonna sneak away from the family reunion. We're gonna go to this line dance party."
Okay.
We went there, and Chris and Hassan was there. So I'm definitely in my world now. I'm like, man, I get to meet Chris and Hassan.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw Chris, I think I told him that night, and Chris might attest to this. I said, "Man, I know you from somewhere." And he said, "Yeah, yeah, you know how you get that. Yeah, 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 everybody."
Uh-huh.
So fast forward even further, just about 2, 3 years ago, Chris posted something about where do you know me from or how did we meet? And this was like kind of a blanket question to everybody on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And I responded to him and I told him because I knew you before, I knew you as DJ Blues or Chris Blues of the line dance world. And I
Okay.
sent him a couple of pictures of him DJing at one of these. At matter of fact, he DJed 2 parties that I went to, and that was in 2005 and 2006. So
Mm-hmm.
we had some interactions, but it wasn't through line dancing that I knew him more. I knew him more from that. So getting that exposure, to fast forward to the back to the question, or we digress back to the question, getting exposure is more important to me than really just in the classroom. Because if you're only teaching your students to do just what's in the classroom and you're not telling them to go get the exposure, you're doing them a disservice. And you're doing yourself a disservice. Because if you're an instructor and you're not going, you're not traveling, you're not going anywhere to see what else is outside your classroom, you're doing yourself and your class a disservice. That's just me to anybody. We all don't have the same passion, but that's my mindset of the way I teach now. I have to do all of that because if I'm not going out, I can't tell them to go out. You know, it's kind of like telling your students to go to the library to get a book for their assignment for homework. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it. Looks like we froze up for a second there, but I'm back. Uh-oh. She'll be back, girl. I think she just got bumped off. Everybody else still there? Okay, Queen just say she's coming back. Uh, I don't know what else to talk about right now. I'm waiting for your questions. All right, Queen's coming back, y'all. Okay, my classes, for those of you that are interested and the question has been posed, my classes are on Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 11 to 12. I teach at the West Hampton Community Center here in Hampton, 1635 Bryfield Road. Also in the evenings on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, we have classes from 6 to 7:45, and that gives you more insight of the of exposure dances, more to put in a category more intermediate advanced dances. I teach pretty much intro because I have a lot of new people that come in have never danced. So I try to stay with the intro level, not calling it beginner, but I'll say intro. Thank you, Earl. Thank you. Yeah, PA's Groove is Earl just mentioned he got music for PA's Groove. Um, that was a dance that myself and another student, the PA is actually for Pops and Aja. So it's Pops and Aja's Groove. People were thinking it was Pa's Groove, that it was just about me, and it's not. And by the grace of God, she has returned to line dancing because she had took a hiatus and was gone off to the Chicago stepping world for a minute. But she's back in class now, so maybe we'll do a PA's Groove too. But yeah, Carly, you asked, do you travel a lot? Yes, I do. I try to get out as much as I can. Headed to New Orleans on Wednesday for the NOLA Bash. Going to Texas for the collaborated party between Ziggy of CG, uh, Stefan from TCH, and golly, I feel like I'm getting ready to slice somebody. I forgot who the third group is, but there are three groups that have come together to do this down in Dallas, Arlington area in December. Check Facebook for dates and times. Support those. What other questions? What other dances have you created? Wow. I created PA's Groove. Prior to that, I did one for actually a family reunion, and I named it Dudley Line Dance. That was in tribute to one of our family members that had passed away. We called him the Godfather. And the story behind that particular dance, the song is done, the dance is done to She's a Bad Mama Jamma. And the reason why it was done to She's a Bad created it because that was his little statement that he would make. He would say that Mama Jamma this and that Mama Jamma that. So when we heard the song, the first thing we all did when a couple of us were together and heard it, we just looked at each other and like, man, they done stole the Godfather's password, you know. So when he passed away, we were getting ready for a family reunion down in Raleigh, the Raleigh-Durham area, and I came up with an idea to do this dance. And the only time I do it or we do it is when we get together for the family reunion because it is the Dudley Line Dance family. It's the Dudley family. So that's the only time I can do it. I think I did it once. We were out somewhere when I first started putting it together and showed a couple people, but I hadn't named it at that time. And then the only other dance that I actually can put, well, I've done a couple of them. I collabed on a couple. This one is for you, myself and Erica Calhoun out of Florida. She's down there with Shake It Up Line Dancing. That's one of my line dance daughters. She invited me before we had even been personally introduced to one another. She said, I want Pops to be in on this one. So we put together This One Is For You. And that was actually created for her retirement. She was retiring from the Air Force. So we put that together and we did that at her retirement ceremony. Then there's been a couple that I've done with other people within our group. Golly, some of the names I can't even remember. We haven't done them so long ago. Those are ones that I really have that were really near and dear to me because, like I say, that one with Erica was really a surprise because again we didn't know one another. She just put it out there. I want to do a dance with Pops because we would see each other at one of the local venues and we just had this thing and she pulled it out and I'm like, okay, I got it. So,
yeah. And I want to thank y'all. You can hear me, Pops?
Yeah, I got you. You back. Welcome back.
I'm so sorry. Our power went out for a minute and it just knocked me out. I'm like, oh my God, what I do? So thank you all for asking the questions and keep it going while I was trying to get back in. I do apologize. And that's why we are family. You know, that's what family does. when one is down, the others pick them up. And I
That's
thank
it.
y'all so much for picking me up because I was like, oh my God. And I thought it actually ended, but thank God it kept going. So
It did.
it
Yeah,
kept
it did.
recording.
Hey, Judy.
Okay.
Judy Wagner just came on, y'all. Hey,
Yeah,
Judith.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Ray
Mhm.
Johnson, Ray Too Cool, and
Okay.
Yvonne I Am, and Linda. Um, so
Come.
Linda actually came on as well. So Pop, I saw something in your bio that said you said you went to the Parkside experience and you said what a time we had. Then you said, oh my, this line dance thing is real.
It's real.
So
Yeah.
what made that expression come for you?
Well, again, like I said, I had met Chris and Hassan, and most of a lot of line dances that I was doing with this same group I'm with now, we were doing again nothing but classroom. We did not go out in public other than uh, the Relay for Life, breast cancer, things like that. We would do community service type partying,
Okay.
but we would not go to the local restaurant club venue. That was a no. We just didn't do that.
Okay.
So uh, we, the 757 crew,
Okay.
we danced at a restaurant, local restaurant. So we would see one another, and somebody say, "Hey, we getting ready to go to Parkside." And I was like, "Man, that's that joint I be watching on TV or on YouTube, man. I gotta go." Now, what most people don't know is how old of a guy I am. So me hanging out with these youngins, when they were talking about we going so and so, and I'm kind of like, man, should I be? Well, I don't know if I want to do that, hanging out with all these young folks. But again, just the love and affection I get from all of them because I am the older guy.
Okay.
They said we're going to go up the Parkside. So that day
Hmm.
that we planned to leave, we met at a parking lot,
Okay.
and all the cars that we had, we took a caravan
Hmm.
up to Philly to
Okay.
Parkside Experience.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, oh my God, I'm like, I did not know this is what line dancing was about.
Hmm.
Again, you're talking about the Parkside Experience. You're talking about, again, I already mentioned my brother Chris Blues there. You're talking about Hassan. You're talking about Ray Board, Aaron Board, uh, Dawu, Bernadette. You're talking about a history of line dancing coming from that area. And
Hmm.
Parkside Experience at the time was really growing so big in the
Hmm.
line dance community. If you didn't go, you were missing something. And for those who never got to get that Parkside Experience, we
Hmm.
dancing over here is that extension to keep it going. Because whenever you say we're doing something Parkside related, it's
Okay.
still Parkside related. We dancing over here. They put a signature on this thing, and it's you definitely gonna get your line dance on.
Line
You know,
dance.
you gonna rest when you need to rest, but you're gonna get your line dance on.
And I just my thing is I wish that we all could come together a little better. Like if somebody's giving something in your area or area that you can get to, you can drive to, get to easily, or even if you have to fly, if we all come together, everybody wins. And that's what a lot of people um don't seem to, I guess, agree on or understand. It's all about me, it's my thing. But we can't do anything by ourselves. It takes all of us. They say it takes a village to raise a child.
That's right.
In our
That's
line
right.
dance, it takes a village of us to make this thing as big. Why do you
It,
think country line dancing is so big? Because they all come together, and that's what we need to do. I'm praying that this podcast will help bring some of us together to learn from each other because we always learning. I know
right.
I am.
Right.
I'm always learning.
Right. Right. I see Katrina Daniels on there. Hello, sister.
Yes.
Hello, my lady T. Um, and we've got to travel together and see each other in foreign places. So Yeah, and as I mentioned to you earlier, is just spreading the word and getting people to understand there's more to it than just us going somewhere just to dance. There is a love before and after dance.
Yes.
Um, and people don't get that.
Mhm.
They think we just go somewhere dance and then we pack our bags and we headed on back home. And that's not the case. When we do what we do, we have grown a network of people nationwide and internationally. Like you
Mhm.
just mentioned earlier, Carla Gray. Is it
Uh-huh.
Carla Gray or Carla
Carla
Gray?
Gray. That's her
Carla
name.
Gray. She in the UK,
Uh-huh.
And the
Mhm.
next time I'm in the UK, I'm gonna look her up.
Yes, please do. She's an awesome instructor. Awesome
But
dancer.
this is how you extend that. It doesn't just stop right here. It doesn't stop just in this city or that city. This is a nationwide thing, and like I said, we're going. I will be with that Parkside connection when we head back to Mexico. We're going to
Okay.
Mexico next year, so it's ongoing. Just keep it going.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
on us.
It's about all of us coming together as a family. And
Right.
like you said, I love the thing you said about it goes beyond, the classroom or the dance floor. There's a love outside of the dance floor. We have to make it so that we love one another, that we connect with one another, that we help one another. Like I said,
Exactly.
I just love me some Earl. I'm waiting to meet Chris Blues. I have seen Chris Blues, but I have never met Chris Blues personally. And some of the other ones, Bernadette and Katrina. I want to meet these people one on one, and just say, "Hey, sister. Hey, brother. How you doing?" You
Right.
know, because
Right.
that's what we need to do. We need to. I know the pandemic or the COVID thing. Believe me, I had it. I was in the hospital for 3 months,
Wow.
but it's okay. God brought me out. So um, it might be the last time you get to hug or shake hands with somebody.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? I knew them when. Yeah, but if you love on them now, while
Mhm.
they're here,
Mhm.
give me my flowers while I live. Well, I'm
That's
not a
right.
flower person, but give me my hug. Give me my
Mhm.
handshake while I'm here.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's what I'm praying that we can make grow, from meeting one another and continue to make this line dance thing. And it's not just a thing. This line dancing for me is a way of life. What
Mhm.
about you, Pop?
I missed you. Got broke off just now.
Is this a part of life for you, or is it just a thing that you do?
No, it's part of my life.
Exactly.
Um, I had a discussion, what I call one of my counts communication sessions,
Okay.
and they told me that I cannot expect everyone to have the same passion for what I do, which
Okay.
I don't.
Mhm.
But I will hold people's feet to the fire because I believe in what I do.
There
I
you go.
love what I do.
Mhm.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays in my life, I have to get up because that's what God has sent me there. Someone told me it's a ministry, maybe.
Mhm.
I'm not a Bible toting, Bible thumping guy, but I do believe that God has put me in this line dance uh, arena because there are people that have come to my class that at some point could barely walk, and now they're
Mm.
out dancing. So I
Okay.
know that there's a lot to this, and I will continue to do it because now it's just a way of life for me. I have to be there on Tuesday and Thursdays to make sure that people see me and I can give them what they came to do for that day. Like I said, for some it's just socializing, but if
Uh-huh.
that's all it is for them, I'll be there to make sure that they have that forum and that room to use that for that 1 hour, 2 hours that I'm in there. So
Okay.
yeah.
It makes a difference. It really makes a difference. And um, one day, it's a lady in my class, and she's been with me since I started in 2013. And she always modifies a dance, and not modifying because she changed the steps, but her steps don't look nothing like ours, even though she's doing the same steps. And we tease her. I tease her all the time. But I learned something. Someone that was on the podcast said, don't make fun. I wasn't making fun. I just tease her because she always does it different. But
Mhm.
what I found out from the podcast and from someone who's experienced, they said, don't talk about her and the way she dances because somebody that's watching dances just like her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or they can communicate or they can understand because they dance just like she does. So don't, talk about the way she dances, appreciate it and grasp it because it's helping somebody that's watching. And I thought
Right.
it was good. I
Right.
thought that was good. And I forgot what you call the people in your class. Um the
My
one
pre-K, my pre-K group.
yeah, your pre-K group.
Yeah, because when I started teaching, people, oh, they just a bunch of beginners, and I said, no, 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 they're the pre-K group. They're the
Okay.
group that just don't have the knowledge like you and everybody else has right now. So
Mhm.
I'm going to bring them up to your speed, and
Right.
it's just I have to take time with them. So I tell them now. I jokingly tell them now. I say, "Well, y'all finally made it to your third year of college. I want you to feel proud of yourself because you're moving forward. Because again, they have been consistent. Like I say, out of all of this, Queen, all of this is they are consistent.
Right.
And I'll say this because I do have a couple of folks that are still kind of struggling with it to a certain degree,
Okay.
but because of their consistency.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter that you catch on to this dance or that dance or whatever right away. It's you're being
Mm,
consistent and you're coming
yeah,
back until you get it right. And
right.
that's the main
Right.
thing.
Mhm.
But when you give up, because I've had some people come in, they stumble a couple of times. I'm like, don't look down, don't do this, don't do that. And I give them benefit of the doubt.
Mhm.
But then they'll go sit down. I say, well, a guy, as a matter of fact, one of my students asked me, he's been coming for years now.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, Pops, when I sit down when you're teaching the dance, does it mean that I've given up? I said, no, it just means you were tired. You were tired. You probably just didn't catch on
Yeah.
right then. So, but no, when you sit down, doesn't mean that you've given up. Means that you're sitting because what I see in him is he's
Mm,
still observing what's going on.
yes. Yes.
But then I'll see
Getting
some
the
others that will
distance.
sit down.
Mhm.
And then when I look around, and like I said earlier, those new eyes that I thought were going to be there for the next class have made their way out the back door. And that's okay too, because again, it's not for everybody.
Right.
Everyone that comes across that threshold comes for their own reason.
Mhm.
And I can't judge why you come and compare why
Right.
they come.
There you
I
go.
just take it for what it is. And like I say, it's a blessing to me that people are still coming across that threshold. How
Right.
long they stay, that's on them. Because
That's
I
on
don't have
there.
no latch on nobody. Excuse me one
Mhm.
second. I need to grab my power cord. I moved my
Okay.
computer. Hold on. I'll be right back. Y'all keep on talking.
Okay. Okay. And I like the fact of what Pop just said. We had Linda tune in with us. Hi, Linda.
Hi,
How you doing?
fine. I finally got in.
Yes, and we're glad to see you. I thank you, Linda, for bringing Pops on. I tell you, it's been so good, so much information and
Yes.
experience and all the things that he has taught us since just being on this podcast in the last 40 something minutes. I really appreciate it. And something that you put on your bio, Pops, it says, thanks to all instructors for the opportunity and for sharing with me your skills and truly, and each one teach one environment is the key to our success. And
Yes.
we can't say that enough. You
Right.
know, each one teach one. That's the key to our success. Because just because you've been teaching for 20 years don't mean you know everything. And I like that. So you want to
Mhm.
tell us where that came from, Pop? Or
Well, my background is in being a training instructor. In the military, I was a non-commissioned officer in charge of training for my search and rescue unit that I was assigned to. I did that
okay.
for approximately 9 years on the tail end of my military career. I started off in security,
Hmm.
um, and then I cross trained into operations, where I was the training NCO for that.
Okay.
Uh, Down at Pope Air Force Base in North Carolina. And then when we got transferred to here, after several years overseas, when I transferred to here to where we live now in at Langley Air Force Base, I was in the search and rescue. I was a search and rescue coordinator. So I taught how to look for missing people, things of that nature. So my background I was a certified instructor for that. So with that, I learned that the way that you teach people and you open up that door of opportunity for someone to learn from you, it's your responsibility to do everything you can to make sure that no matter who walks into your classroom, they walk out feeling accomplished. So it's that each one teach one mentality that I thought that I needed to provide to everybody. And that's why I mentioned earlier, there are several pre-instructors in every classroom.
Okay.
There is someone in your classroom that's observing you. So you're that one that's teaching one. And that one will take what they learn from you and want to teach also. Everybody's not a teacher. Everybody doesn't have what it takes to teach, because you definitely
patience.
Thank you. You said it. Took the words right out of my mouth.
You gotta have patience.
Well, I gotta say hello to one of my students now. Hey, Cassandra. And it is the patience that pays off. You know,
Right.
I could be just as disgruntled or upset or whatever because of this or that, but it's more on how you look at your group and not look at individuals. I teach a group of X amount of people. I cannot individualize teaching for one person. Everybody has to learn at the same time. And there are some people who really feel slighted because they think that because I'll give you an example. I was having a class, and that particular day, I had my mind made up that I was going to teach a particular dance.
Okay.
So I warm up. I do normally 3 or 4 warm-up dances to get them focused on, okay, today I'm really teaching a lot of cha-chas, or I'm teaching a lot of Chicago step-based stuff, or whatever it is that I wake up with that day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to look at some video. I'm going to go teach. Well, I'd had 3 warm-ups. Then I had this one dance I wanted to teach. So this particular person came in a little late for class. And well, that's okay. That's fine. We all can't be as punctual as we would like to be, but they came in late for the class and didn't know that I taught 3 dances or whatever, or went through 3 dances. So I got on this one dance, and everybody kept asking to go over it again. I don't get it. Can you? So I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. So I said, you know what? Again, this is a 1-hour class. The average dance, if you're teaching at any workshop that you go to, takes what, 20 to 30 minutes for one dance? If you're breaking it down, if you're really teaching it, because you want people to know it, why should the class be any different?
Right.
So I'm taking the time, and people, hey, you getting it? Asking questions. This person had the audacity to say, well, oh, that's all you're going to teach today?
That's a lot. But you know what? Let me tell you, some of these classes teach 12 dances in one hour.
But they can do that.
I've been to those. How are you going to observe 12 dances in 1 hour?
Right.
But that's what they do. That's what they do. And they just go on to the next one and go on to the next one. And that's not cool.
Right.
So
Linda, it depends on the student's ability to retain. I have a thing that I do in class. I say, raise your right hand.
Well, how are you going to retain 12 dances in 1 hour?
Hold on, but wait a minute. That depends on the students. It really depends on your students and their level. And Earl just said it depends on your students and your level. If you have a group of seasoned line dancers, you are teaching by terminology for the most part. I can turn my back to you and I can spit off. Okay, give me two Chicago basics. Give me a cha-cha. Give me a travel. Give me a Cheyron here, Cheyron there. Then I want you to scuff and keep on moving. I can spit that out to you. But
not to a beginner. But not to a
beginner. So to a beginner, you have to have patience.
Yes.
And that's what I have, because I have one. I used to do 2 hours. I'll give you a good hour of, I'm going to just give you some of the real basic. This is all you need to know, because I know, Linda, you're not going anywhere. Okay, Queen, you might be exposed. You getting out. But I know the classroom. So I'm going to give what the whole group needs.
Okay.
But those that want more, class ends at 12. But I got the building until 1 or 2 o'clock. I got the building as long as I want the building.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So if you come to me for 11 to 12, you want to socialize that 11 to 12. I got that. So the first 10 minutes, they talking. I just turn the music on. And I spend some time and wait until I put up the big L. And then they go, oh, shut up. I let them get their little social on. But then, okay, that means you're only going to get 35, 40 minutes of instruction. You got me for an hour. Now, anybody who wants to stay after that hour, we got this. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to learn some exposure stuff, some challenging dances? You got that. So then I'll add on to that 6 or 7 dances that we done went through, because I'm only going to give them 2. And I mean, I got a month to do this. Y'all they ain't going nowhere. They're going to be right back in there on Thursday. So you get what they need.
So, Pop,
I want to know this. I want to know this. Okay, now we've been talking about your teaching. Let's talk about your soul line dance journey. That's what I want to know about. What inspired you to start dancing?
He covered it in the beginning, Linda. I think you missed it, but
I didn't get it. I didn't get that. I wasn't here. Okay, well, if you already covered that, then I want to know, who is your first line dance instructor?
My first line dance instructor, her name was Elois. I was invited by my niece to go to the class. I went to the class a couple of times, but I was new to it, so it didn't attract me as much. It was kind of like Queen and I had talked earlier. I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. So I'm a two-stepper. I'm a hand dance guy. I'm a bop guy.
Yes.
So I'm from Northwest, Northeast DC. So we do stuff a whole lot different than this line dance thing. So I was kind of like, that line dance is not for me.
Okay.
So I went to a couple classes, and then was like, no, I don't like this as much. But then somebody told me about another class. So I went to the second class. The instructor's name was Betty. Betty was not there. There was this elderly white woman named Marion. Okay. I wish I knew Marion's name, and I always say I'm going to find it one way or another. I'll eventually find her name. But Marion was substituting for Betty. Her charisma, she's a gifted dancer, and she was on point. It was like she was a ballerina just gliding across the floor, but she was doing, again, country line dances.
Okay.
So she was doing a lot of urban, but she would tell you from the outset, I'm not an urban line dancer. I'm a country line dancer. Okay. So she would teach boot scooting boogie.
I know Joe. I do some country line dancing myself. Don't down it. It's still fun.
I got videos to prove it. We were doing all this.
It's still fun.
Having a ball.
Yeah.
So that class lasted for, I think I was in that class for about 2 years, but we did a little bit of everything. It wasn't just line dancing. We were doing Pilates on one. This was all part of the class. We did line dancing, Pilates, chair exercises, because what we were doing, we were going out in the community and we were actually performing for the assisted living hospitals and places. Okay. And I just recently, just 2 weeks ago, I was just invited to come up to Williamsburg, which is about 20 minutes, 30 minutes from where I live, to teach, but I don't have the room for it now because I just started another new class. I haven't even started. It starts in November. I'll be teaching a new class. But that's part of my background in line dancing, how I got started. And the traveling, we already talked about going to Parkside. That was so eye-opening. Chris, Hassan, my PE folk family up there, love y'all so much.
I didn't get a chance to do that. I want to go, but I have never got a chance to do that.
Oh, you got to go. You got to go. They dancing over there We dancing over there. We
I
dancing
know.
over here. You got to do it. And like I said, we've been blessed.
I have a question for you
Yes,
from
come on.
our viewer. One of our viewers said, "What direction do you see the soul line dance community, the soul line community, going as a whole?"
As a whole,
Yes.
I see it's going to grow. And the reason why I say it's going to grow is because people are now more aware of who we are and what we do.
Okay.
They see how we travel. They see the parties. They see whatever we do. Again, like I said, I'm in the photography thing. I like taking pictures to archive what we do, but I'm trying to go more into the live. When I do the live video footage that I do it for people who don't know anything about line dances. It's not for us the line dancers. We know what we do. It's to pique the interest of people who have never gone, because when they see it, they get that oh my. They get to see, oh wow, they get flabbergasted because they don't know.
Right.
This is how much fun we have. There's a sister on my Facebook page that we started kindergarten together.
Oh, wow.
We started kindergarten 68 years ago. We started school together. And she says, y'all be having a great time. I wish I could. And I'm like, stop wishing.
Okay.
Stop wishing.
Right. Yeah.
Go to the grocery store and buy you a pair of them sneakers out the basket and come on and join us. Come on and put them dancing shoes on and join us. Stop wishing, because that's what's wrong. We do a lot of wishing on what we could be doing instead of just getting up and doing. The hardest part about anything as far as doing something healthy is putting your shoes on, getting up and doing it.
And do it. That's true. Well, Pops, I know we could just talk to you forever because you're so full of so much information. We have to move on into the program. If not, we'd be here till tomorrow sometime.
Yes, you will.
So, yes. So one thing I want to put up that we ask that you subscribe to us on Let's Talk Soul Line Dance. I'm sorry, on Facebook and YouTube. Please subscribe to our page so we can keep this podcast going. Also, donations are accepted. No amount is too small. I try to give out money every week, and that money comes out of my pocket. So if you decide to be a blessing, we appreciate it. And it's $, the LDC. That's my Cash App code. And now we're going to move on to birthdays. Anyone having a birthday in the month of November? If your birthday is in the month of November, then let us know so we can sing happy birthday to you. And if I don't see it on the chat, because I'm trying to do 12 things at one time, but it's okay. Whoever's birthday is in November, we're going to sing happy birthday. So Pops, you got to help us now. And I'm telling you now, I lost the money that my mom gave me for singing lessons. I lost it somewhere, but I enjoy, making people laugh and having fun. So we're going to sing a quick happy birthday to all those having birthdays in November. So will you help lead us in that?
I will try.
Okay.
I will try.
All right.
Are y'all ready?
We're ready. We're ready.
Very ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to all of those having a birthday. Let's see. Did we have any viewers that have a birthday in November? I'm trying to see. No, happy birthday, everyone. Okay, we have a question. I'm gonna take this last question. Alexa said, "Y'all better sign." Thank you, Alexa. Girl, you just lovely. Okay, Myra Alston says, "How do we get more men and more people from their 30s and 40s involved in line dancing?" What would you say to that?
Invitation. Invite them. it's difficult to get men um, any older than 30 or 40 because they're set in their ways, so to speak. But exposure to the younger 30 or 40-ish is not probably wouldn't be as difficult. But the thing with line dancing is the misinformation, thinking that all males that are line dancing are gay.
Mm.
That's the knock. That's the
Mm.
knock. I've had cats confront me at not necessarily thinking I was gay, but kind of making a statement that they don't see the positive connection with line dancing because they want to dance with a woman, not near a woman. So this is why you don't get a lot of men that observe from the outside, just kind of sitting and watching, and oh man, I can't get with that. They ain't, I want to touch a woman. Well, you're in the wrong place.
Okay.
Line
That's
dancing
is that why, Pop? Is that why the men go for more of a stepping than they do line?
I think that might be. I can't say that that's what drives them towards that, but probably so because at least they can interact with a woman. But you must also recognize in Chicago stepping, men dance with men.
Yeah,
So
they do. And another thing they ought to look at is more women into line dancing. So if you want to see the women, come on to the line dancing. You'll see a lot more women in the line dancing than you will in the stepping.
Right. So we do have opportunities. Someone else, I see somebody else made a statement about Pop should capture more vids with men dancing than post them. We need to see more of us dancing. I'm not sure who that is. I believe it's a guy though, unidentified. But what I would say to that in response is that when I turn the camera on, I just turn it on unless I'm standing there watching. But then we still have limited male participation. And I got to give my shout out to my brother, to Stefan. You mentioned earlier people traveling. My brother Ron Kofor. Ron has driven 14 hours to events that we've had down here.
My Lord.
Didn't know Ron from anybody else, but we met through a wellness communication that was set up with Stefan, and we would meet and talk to one another, and we started talking. And when we started doing our what we call parking lot sessions here in Hampton, in the Hampton Roads area, we got those people that were from that wellness group that Stefan created were coming out of the woodwork. We had more people from out of town than we had people locally. But with men, it's not that many men. Shout out to my man James Edmonds. James Edmonds out of Chicago. Okay. I met him playing Word Blitz.
Linda, mute yourself, please. Linda, can you mute yourself? Okay, go ahead, Pops. I'm sorry.
And James Edmonds flew here. We had never even met. And this brother walked up to me, yo, Pops, I'm having a good time. I'm like, who is this dude? And I had to go over and ask him, yo, man, I apologize. I don't know you. What is your name? And they told me, said, Pops, it's me. It's James. Word Blitz. James has not missed a beat. James flies from Chicago down here for anything that we do. Okay. So it's once you make the connection with people, but these are people that are already in line dance.
Right.
So to get the ones outside of line dance, it's kind of hard because we don't, here's the real problem. We don't intermingle with the bar group when we go to places.
Okay.
We normally separate line dancing from the bar environment to avoid the alcohol that some people are drinking, because a lot of people that go to the bars, they're drinking more to relieve themselves from a stressful week, and some of them tend to overdo it. We have stopped. I know we have stopped a couple of fights at a couple of places we used to go to because we did do the intermingle dancing in the bar area or something like that. And you get someone that wants to get too involved, wants to grab on one of the ladies, or they get in an argument between themselves and they want to fight. And we can't tolerate that, because once that negative stigma gets put on us as line dancers, it spoils anything that we do.
Yes.
So that's, I hope I'll answer that question without going too
Okay.
lengthy on.
No, you're fine. Pop, Katrina Daniel said, we have a lot of young people, but young people don't have the money to travel like the older people. And then you have a lot of young people too who have children and they can't be gone on the weekend.
Exactly.
Yvonne, going back to what we said about the men of line dance, Yvonne says, I love the men of line dance. And Alexa says, I love seeing our men get down, just like in church. Yvonne said, just like in church. And then Katrina said, we have a lot of men in line dance. Look for the videos from this weekend from the NOLA Bash. So this showed you that there were a lot of men there. And
Wow.
so it just goes to show you that it's not all about what your personal lifestyle is. It's about us coming together. Because let me tell you something, I can dance next to somebody who's gay just like I can dance to somebody who's straight. We dance. I'm not having sex with you. I'm not going home with you or going to bed with you. I'm here to dance, and I can learn from you. I don't care what you are or who you are. I can learn from you. If it's that little, somebody who started dancing last week could teach me something. So I keep my mind open. And then Myrna Austin says, if you come to more line dance events, then men can't meet more women. Thank you for answering my question. I love all the men who have been in the line dance community for so many years. The men are really smooth on the floor, and we enjoy watching them and dancing with them.
Right.
And so Katrina says it's this weekend coming, I guess. And Earl said, I know that's right. We ain't got time for no other BS but line dancing. And I like that.
That's in a nutshell. We don't care about all the other, we live in a society where everything is looked at under a microscope, and especially when it comes to us. So when we go to these venues, we're not going to judge anybody. We don't care what is going on. We just care about line dancing, period. The before, in the middle, and the after party. We don't care nothing about all that other nonsense. We just there to socialize and get our dance on and enjoy one another. And that's what most people who aren't in the line dance community do not understand. They do not understand.
Y'all, I'm sorry. We got to move on. I know it's just so good. The conversation is so good. I'm so excited. Oh, God. And well, we have to move on, y'all. We're going to be here all night. I did donations. Announcements. Pop, are you going to be teaching anywhere in the near future, or any event coming up that you might be at or that you want to tell us about?
No, the next event that I'm going to be at, I'm not teaching. I will be in NOLA.
Okay.
I will be going to the NOLA Bash, NOLA Bayou Bash, number 5, the 5th and final. I'll be there next week or this week. I'm leaving out of here. Actually, I'm leaving here on Tuesday. And then, like I said earlier, I will be in Texas down at the CG Invasion, the Houston Invasion with Ziggy, TCH. And I swear I should have looked at to make sure I had all the information before I mentioned it. But that's going to be second week of December in Texas. And then in January, I'm still kind of teetering whether or not I'll get to make UC Awards. Depends on what's going on with the family, because we do a lot together. Yes, Dallas, Katrina, thank you. And then February, for all of you who haven't heard, check on Facebook. We are having our brunch, 10th anniversary. We're having a brunch, and that's going to be on February 19th. It is actually a day party event. Well, strike that. I need to have all the information before I give it out. But February 19th, check us out on our 757crew.com page. Again, that is 757crewva.com. Check that page out, and you can also see us on Facebook. 757 Urban Line Dance, Soul Line Dance.
Okay.
Check that out. And My page or our page is a Get Fit Line Dancers. We post all of our information on all three of those pages. So
Okay.
anything you need to know about line dance events or what's going on with us, just check that page. When you go to the 757crewva.com, that is our primary page. It shows all of us that are in the 757 crew. It
Okay.
shows what events we are hosting and things of that nature, and also list all the events that are going on nationwide. Pretty much, you can get information from that. Shout out to my ladies of the crew, to Shanita, V, Angie, La Shanique, our historian. We actually have an in-house historian, Linda Hardy. She
Mm-hmm.
is doing a nationwide travel. She goes to, now you talking about going to events. Linda and I started almost about the same time. Linda too is retired Air Force.
Okay.
Linda has started the 757 crew line dance historian role. So she goes to just about every venue.
Okay.
And being that sponge out there, she's absorbing every bit of information that she can. So if you want to interview someone, put her on your interview list, as Katrina just stated. Because
What's her name?
her name is
Linda
Linda
Hardy.
Hardy, Hardy.
Okay.
Yes.
I definitely will reach out. I was gonna say she
Reach out to her because she can tell you stuff that I don't even know, because she's going directly to the source. I
right.
can give you some history, but talking
Mm-hmm.
about being a historian,
Uh-huh.
she's taking this life and she's really living it. She is everywhere. Trust me.
Okay.
So she'll
Great.
be a good guest to have on.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one announcement. My 10th anniversary will be here in Tampa, at the Embassy Suites, USF, University of South Florida, and it's next October. Now it was the 12th through the 15th, but because I could not get hotel rooms on the 12th, I'm only doing 2 days, which is 3 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, October 13th through the 15th, and my instructors are going to be Charles Doss Jr., Andy Glover, Carla Gray, Jerome Green Code, Ray Tuku, Earl Miller, Harris Parks, Bernadette Burnett, Jay Most, and Alvina Richburg. So they're coming from all, and you're like, all those instructors. Listen, this is my last one. This is my last and final symposium. Not teaching, my last symposium. Somebody, Linda, somebody, mute? It's a lot
No,
of
that's not me. That's
Not
not
you?
me.
Okay, it's a lot of
No.
back. Okay, thank you. So that's October 13th through the 15th. Please mark your calendars. It's going to be an awesome time. We're going to just dance, dance, dance. We're going to learn, learn, learn. And it's just going to be all that and a bag of chips. We're going to start off with a pool party. So you can get in the water, you can dance in the water or dance out the water. Because this year, my symposium, we dance on water on a cruise. So next year, you can dance in the water or out the water. Okay, so that's all the announcements. Anybody locally, I having a Christmas party December 2nd. I'm here in Tampa. And if you want information, just look me up. I'm Queen with a W, QWEEN. You look me up on Facebook. Usually I come right up. Okay, and Pops, you already did your shout outs, but do you have any more?
I just like to shout out again, as always, to all the instructors that are out there. Like I said, thank you so much, because I've learned from so many of you how to instruct properly. You've kind of given me the blueprint on how I should be doing. And to those that even have just stood beside me to help me on my early involvement in line dance, Doug X Hawkins. Like I said, we went to a little sneak potluck that they were holding, and he came up to me and he helped me get through struggling through a couple of dances, and I love that brother for that. And again, that's one of the men of line dance that's out there. So they exist.
Yes.
But thank you so much to all of those folks. Thank you to my class. Thank you for the invite to do this. Again, I don't know how I got put on this prestigious list. people be invited to be interviewed. But again, thank you. And I just appreciate it, really.
Yeah. Miss Linda, you want to get some shout outs?
Yeah,
Because we're
I
going to move it
want
along. I
to.
promise we'll move it along. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna shout out to Pops for I appreciate you coming on the show, and you have some very valuable information, and I'm sure I see from the comments that everyone else would agree with me, and that's what I want to just thank you.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Pops. And thank you, Linda. Thank you to all of our viewers, everyone who came into the chat and gave us all this valuable information. I tell you, that's what keeps us going. Y'all don't understand. This is my baby, but I'm blessed every week. You know, every week that we have an interview, I'm blessed. I learn something new. That somebody gives me, and that's the link. Okay, so I'm really thankful to all of the viewers, to you, Pops, for being an interviewee today, and I thank you, Miss Linda, for being a co-host. It's really been a blessing. So now we're going to move to the fun part of the show, the trivia break, and we have
Oh,
time.
let me answer Earl right quick. He want to know when I'm planning on going to Parkside. Well, I'm gonna when I come to Parkside, I'm sure gonna hit you up so you can see me in living color.
I know that you're there, right?
Yeah, where he'll know I'm there.
But before we do our trivia, that'll be our closing thing. Pops, can you give us the dance of the week?
The dance of the week? Oh,
yes.
my. Yes, it's golly. Oh my goodness. I swear this is a shame because I want to give this shout out for this particular dance.
Okay, well,
give me a second. Come back to me. Come back to me. Because I got to get the name right. I don't want to give out the wrong name.
Okay, no problem. So we're going to do our trivia break. And while Pops is doing that, Miss Linda, can you give us the first trivia question?
The first trivia question I would like to ask is, what does pop mean when you got to think outside the box when it comes to line dancing?
Thinking outside the box?
Not you, Pop.
No, I'm asking. You can't answer it. That's what I'm asking people.
Okay. So the first question: what does Pop mean when he said thinking outside the box? So y'all gonna have to help me because I'm trying to do both sides. What does it mean thinking outside the box? Okay, Pop, you have a trivia question? Ready?
No, I don't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So let's see. What year did Pop start dancing? Line dancing. What year did Pop start line dancing?
They're not getting neither one of those, are they?
They coming, they thinking. They thinking. Okay, let's see if this is a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, he started dancing in 2011.
Okay, who am I speaking to?
My name is Akia.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you that one because you called in before anybody typed it in, but you have to type in the chat your answer.
Oh, I thought it was a call that number.
Okay, no, type your answer in the chat, and then that's the number you call. That's the number that you send me your Cash App to.
Oh, okay. This is our first time. Thank you.
Okay, so no, just text me your Cash App, and I'll send you your money, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. We had another Melva. You got beat this time, sweetie. Okay. Somebody said 1944. What they say?
1944.
I need to find out who that is. I need to find out.
All right. So do you have answer? Anybody answer?
That's somebody that must know me.
Okay. Okay. So, Pop, you have a question now? Our third question for tonight?
Let me see. What question could I ask? Yeah, how did I get the nickname Pops? Did we do that before the show or during the show?
I think we did that before the show.
Before the
Maybe,
show.
let's see if
I don't
someone.
think anybody knows that how I got the nickname Pops, because
Yeah, I
Pops
don't
is
think
not
we did that.
that's not my government name. Let me see what else. What other one can we do?
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what else we went over that I can ask a question of.
What about one of the other occupations that you have now?
Oh, I don't think anybody knew that.
You don't think so? We talked about it.
We did. Yeah. That would be a good question. What were my occupations outside of line dancing?
Yes.
Yeah. What did I do outside of line dancing?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody remember?
From the grandkids. Investigator. That's what.
That's not fair, Jackie. Yes.
And Alexis said
yes.
security.
All the above. All the above.
All the above. Okay.
Jackie up. They coming. Yeah, there you go. Yes, okay. Yvonne, that's true.
Yep. So they coming now.
Yeah. Roland. What's up, Roland? My man. Roland Ford. What's up, brother Roland? Yes, sir.
All right. So I guess that was too broad of a question because we got like a whole bunch of answers. Who was the first? Can you see who was the first?
The first was actually Jackie Davis.
Jackie Davis. Okay.
Yeah.
So
she got that one. Investigator.
Okay, yeah. Investigator. And no one answered Linda's question. Did anybody have an answer to Linda's question or no?
What was Linda's question?
That what did you mean by thinking outside the box?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see anybody answer that one yet.
Okay, no one answered that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. So do you have one more, Pop? I can give away another $5.
Yeah, what was one of the line dances that I created?
Oh, good one. But did we talk about it?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay, that might have been when I jumped off. Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it. That was a question somebody else had asked, but okay. See if anybody remembers.
Remember, what is one of the dances that Pop choreographed? PA Groove? Is that
there
one?
You go. That's it. Yes.
PA's Groove? All right.
PA's Groove, yes.
PA's Groove. Okay, so Jackie, you can only win one question a week because we want to give everybody opportunity. So Katrina,
Alexa got that one. Alexa got in before Jackie did, actually.
Right, but Alexa already won one, didn't she?
Oh, she won one already? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Am I right, Alexa? Did you win one already? I'm trying to see. I think that she did. If not, let me know.
If Alexa didn't, then
so Alexa.
Katrina was the other one. Okay, she said she didn't. So
okay, so Alexa and Katrina, right? If you text me your Cash App to 813-407-1216, I will send you your money. Okay. So I think we've got all of our questions. Was that 4? That was 4 people, right? That won?
I believe so.
I think that was 4 people that won. So Pop, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. It's been so awesome having you. The information that you shared with us, I mean, it's truly a blessing. And I wish you all the success in line dancing. And I look forward to dancing on the wood. I'll say, I know him. That's Pops. So I don't travel that much right now because my husband is ill. So I kind of stay around with him. But I plan to travel. I will be going to the UC Star Awards.
Okay.
In January. I will be there. And I'm planning to do more traveling next year because he's getting much better. So I can kind of get out a little more and don't worry about him being home. So I want to thank you for everyone that tuned in today. Thank you for all the information that you gave us, all of the questions you asked. And just try to keep this podcast going. We do take donations to the Cash App is this. Is it on there? Yeah, my Cash App is $. Oh, it's not on there. The Cash App is $. THELDC, and that stands for the Line Dance Connection. So if you would like to be a blessing and give us a donation, we appreciate it. If not, we just love you for being on here. Pops, thank you. I can't thank. So now put me on the list as one of your other daughters now.
I will. I'll do that.
And don't forget to add Let's Talk Soul Line Dance to your bio, that you were a guest on our podcast. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. We love you. And I never close without saying, love is no good unless you give it away. So here's some of mine. All right. Thank you. Good night. Yeah. Good night, everyone. See you next week, same time, 7:00 p.m. YouTube or Facebook. Love you. All right.
Good night. Y'all take care. Thanks, everybody, for checking in.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Okay.